We believe strongly that in order to make something successful, it has to be a recipe that will keep many people happy. Or let's put it this way, all the people on the table happy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Cyprus, brought to you by Domenica Group. I'm Alexander Tsangaridis.
I'm Kyriakos Charalambous.
And
And
Sam Koudounis.
Today we're here with Sam Koudounis,
Hello.
talking about hospitality.
I love the initiative.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sam, welcome to the studio.
I'm used to the cameras.
Perfect. Welcome to the studio again.
Thank you so
for your
much.
time.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for having me.
So, Sam, just to make an introduction and put everybody on the same playing field, could you please briefly give us an intro on yourself, your experience in the market of hospitality, and about KK Hospitality, your company?
Uh, Thank you for having me here. Yes, first of all, KK Hospitality is a hospitality management company. Some people call us property management company, some others hotel management company. We're actually both. KK Hospitality is the hospitality solution when it comes to real estate in the market of today, with the new trends, with a new style of tourism, with a new style of hospitality. And this is what KK saw in the market, and that's how we decided to do it. Me personally, I am the one part of the company, and I am, let's say, the hotel operation part. Experience nearly 30 years from 1996 in the hotel industry, in upper level, mostly five-star hotels in the top level of management. And my partner, Alex Knis, he is the financial brain. He's the financial director of the company. He is the person who analyzes the real estate market and what it means to the owner, what it means to the developer, what it means to the client, what it means to KK Hospitality.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's the guy in the shadows running the numbers. So
Yeah.
we have you in
I'm
the
the happy guy
spotlight.
and he's the boring guy.
We should have him today, but something happened. You know, and
Unfortunately, he had a family
became alone.
case, so we will see him in the future, hopefully.
So for my first question, giving a good pass with 25 plus years in hospitality across Greece, the UK, and Cyprus. What's the most significant shift you've seen in guest expectations, and how is KK Hospitality evolving to meet them?
Look, the first trend slash shift in hospitality we start seeing, it came with Airbnb as a platform. But straight after that, or let's say a little after that, came COVID, which came to totally shock the hospitality. So from the one side, we knew that the trends are changing because a homeowner start thinking, clever idea. I'm going to use my house in order to transform it to Airbnb. So I'm going to put it there and make some more money. So this trend also influenced people mainly from Eastern countries, Central European countries. But then COVID came. And when COVID came, this became even bigger, but also further from Airbnb. And this created the market of the more private accommodation, the bigger accommodation, the accommodation that can support holiday and work from distance. We can remember all COVID. So, yeah, still, although it seems like it was 100 years ago, it was only 5, 6 years ago. So, people were looking for more private accommodation where they could work, they could have their family, they could cook, and they could have a nice balcony to take some fresh air. And this means something different from a hotel, because a hotel is a pretty standard product, standard in hospitality, 25 square meters in a room, not easy for someone to live. So, long term or short term, more than a week or two. Okay, you cannot live there for 3 months. You go crazy. So yes, this trend, it was a very big thing we saw in the market. That from the one side we had properties created, on the other side the hospitality trends shifting, how you said. So we just matched these two with a great property and great service, put them together, give them to the correct client at the correct price. So the owner of the property becomes very happy, the developer very happy because he sees his property to take like life, to take care.
And a new purpose.
And then us, of course, that we have very successful business. Very successful business.
Yeah, it's true that it changed. Well, it affected everybody.
Yes.
COVID,
Of course.
I'm talking about. And Cyprus real estate market was no different. I mean, from the developer side, I can say that it changed completely, not only the way that we design things, but it also changed the clientele. Why people were investing in Cyprus or moving in Cyprus, and places like Cyprus that had, let's say, more openness, a higher quality of life, etc., 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 were actually benefited from COVID, which sounds a bit weird, but it's true.
Yeah, long term, yeah.
And we saw a shift in the type of people moving and why. And following to what Sam said, we changed the way that we design and projects to accommodate these shifts.
Yeah, we saw German market coming in that we didn't have before. We saw
Polish market.
Polish, Swedish, Norwegian, all the Scandinavians anyway. The Dutch market very strong. The Swiss market very strong. The Austrians. So all these countries didn't exist in the market before, and now not only they come for holidays in bigger numbers. We have stats about it to support what we are saying, but also to start thinking, you know what, why I don't buy here, why I don't transfer my company here, look at this lovely weather, plus I have a wonderful apartment, so I can really live better here. So on the one side, for some time, KK Hospitality in the short-term part of our business, we saw a change. On the other side, even a long-term stage or later on for the developers to sell apartments became amazing. And then one brings the other. Then you see Ryanair increasing schedules. Then you see different chain of things coming in place. And this is what we are living now in Paphos.
And it's interesting because it blends to what you were talking earlier. It's not just the trends, it's the requirements that are changing. Because you said, certain like profile, let's call them, of clientele that you didn't have before. So now in order to not only have them here, but keep them here and make them repeaters, permanent citizens, make them move here, etc., you needed to change
Yes.
the way that you were offering services, right? Because
Absolutely.
they were coming with certain expectations.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't mean that you are not good enough or anything. It's just you are used to something and I'm used to something else. And typically, and we've discussed this before in the podcast, that sometimes the problem in the beginning is that you take for granted that this is going to be like that. And I take for granted as the service provider or the product provider that it's going to be like that. And it doesn't mean that we cannot make ends meet. It just means that we have to have this conversation.
Share. We have to share. We have to share the information. We have data in our hands, both sides, that we have to put together for the new product that we see already people are asking. Starting, let's say, from products with a little bit better technology. So people want technology. They want fast networks.
It's a huge thing now in real estate.
Yeah,
Technology,
of
smart
course, of course.
housing and all that.
Of course. So you need technology. So we must start thinking like a standard property maybe is okay. You always market for some standard property, but there is big wave, big trend now for properties that they will have the extra something.
Yeah,
They want technology, they want networking, they want additional security, they want these things, how we said, privacy. So maybe an open pool that someone can see you is not applying anymore. You want a little more private places, different things.
And with that, materials change, the way you build change. We talked about it again in a past episode.
Everyone has to consider.
We replaced the word luxury apartments, luxury, with the word smart now.
We add also, we never use the word luxury anymore, but we use the word elegant. We use the word smart. We use the word fresh. We use the word modern. Okay, these are now the words when it comes to designing our service, and we share this with the developer to design properties.
Yeah, because in this new target market, this is a new luxury.
Yes,
correct. And it's a competitive market. So you need to keep evolving and you need to share knowledge, because at the end of the day, the best way to add value to what you're designing and what you're ultimately selling, a property, a service, an experience, right, is to actually try and tackle it from different angles. Because obviously people today have many options. They are exposed to many different trends and many different ideas. And it's important for you to basically stay at the forefront
Correct.
in
Correct.
your field.
Correct. Another thing that we saw in changing uh, in all this framework we are talking now, it was that we start having requests for a little working space inside an apartment, a little working corner, even if it's 2 or 3 square meters, that someone can
Yeah.
open his laptop, sit down and work, but not in the living room because it's the kids, not in the kitchen because it's the wife cooking or the parents having a dinner. Of course, not in the bedroom. It's not so comfortable to work in the bedroom. So we start having this. So even in hospitality, in the short-term part, people were coming for one, still coming for 1 week or 10 days, and they will always have their laptop. And they would love to open the laptop, even to check their emails,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
to
yeah,
send
of
few
course.
emails, or why not to combine work and holiday? Because now they have done it through COVID, and it was for
They
most
saw
of
it
the
works.
people,
Works.
yes, it worked. Okay.
What's your main target market?
Main target
Like,
market.
what's the profile of your?
Look, I would love to broaden it, but we have to, let's say, accept what the destination gives. So the destination starts with the airport.
Okay.
So we start with what flies in Paphos mainly, and a little bit lesser in Larnaca. But from what flies in Paphos, yes, we see the British, we see Israeli, we see bigger number of Polish market, but as we said earlier, we see also the German, a lot more Italian, a lot more French, the Eastern European countries, or the Baltic countries, a lot bigger numbers. We still see that the primary markets are the British and the Israeli in Paphos because of the accessibility, because of traditions, because of bonds, because of distance of Israel, because of the cost of having nice holidays, quality holidays in very good prices, affordable holidays, let's say. Uh, but also we start seeing bigger numbers from the middle Western European countries, which are great markets. We want to reinforce these markets. We want to target better. We are working towards this direction. And we are just waiting to see what will happen with these beautiful wars we have
Yeah, yeah.
either in the
All around
neighborhood
us. All around
or
us.
or in the Russian-Ukrainian war. So we expect also developments there. We expect developments positive, I hope.
Basically, what I wanted to like ask, right? So from our point of view as Domenica Group, right? Um, we saw and experience the added value that a company like yourself can offer to us as product providers. Could you please elaborate a bit on this? But I would be more interested to explain what also would be the added benefits to the owner of the property.
course.
So my client, let's say, that is buying something and is looking for somebody to take care of his property or the whole project.
This is in the core, in the bone, in the backbone of our operation, of our business. The added value. The added value to the real estate market, to the developer market. So we believe strongly that in order to make something successful, it has to be a recipe that will keep many people happy. Or let's put it this way, all the people on the table happy. And the people on the table are specific. Is a developer, is a potential buyer slash owner of a property, it's KK Hospitality, and it is a guest, either long term or short term. So we have, and we are putting down this equation, this recipe to make all these parties happy. How? And there comes the added value. We must make sure we maintain the property in the highest level. So the developer on the one side is very proud to present always, look at this is my property. Look how nice. And even if it's past 5, 6 years, the property is still beautiful and not forgotten, not neglected, not ghosted. Okay. On the other side is the owner, mostly. So a good return to the owner, something that would make sense to him in order to be either as an investor to buy and have a certain return on his investment, or as an owner who just bought, he will stay some period, or he sees like, okay, for 2-3 years until I wrap up my life and then move or relocate in Cyprus. Definitely, we come and we give the correct proposal. On the other side, there are incentives. So either for the owner, who will have, for example, 2 weeks free holidays, or he will have his bigger discounts on rental cars or free excursions, or all these little bits and pieces that make his decision to work with KK Hospitality easier, of course, but it comes as an added value to his return. Then we have our guest, and our guest is, of course, he wants to come his holiday, or he wants to stay because he wants to make a home out of it. So we have to have a house, how we said earlier, with a good technology, with good facilities, good, let's say, sound insulation, to have a comfortable house to live. KK Hospitality, of course, they want to make business, and we want to have a future and to be sustainable and to have long-term relationships, either with our developers or with our owners. The added value comes, let's say, as a part of, on the one side, giving to the developer a bigger dynamic to the sales. So coming to provide a certain return on investment, guaranteeing the condition of the property. On the other side, the owner having someone that gives a promise that not only I'm going to take care of your property, but whenever you decide to come back to this property, you will find it like it was the first day, new. Okay. And this is, let's say, in the highest of priorities to KK Hospitality. Then Cyprus Paphos is a specific product, unique product. We have to match it. So where we are, which locations, and what people expect from holidays or what people expect from living is matters that we come and we give us feedback to our developers, and we provide, let's say, not the know-how, but some market data that this is what people need. So don't waste projects, don't waste money, or don't create ideas that market
Are not
doesn't need.
relevant.
Market
Yeah.
doesn't need.
Yeah, no, it's true. Because like at the end of the day, you see the experience, the
Yes.
living experience
Yes.
of people way more than we do as a developer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we are designing it beforehand, thinking that that's the highest and best use of a certain plot of land. But then you guys have the experience of how is it actually when somebody lives in your projects? Is it really as efficient as you think? Is it really as easy as you believe? And to basically add another point to what you were talking about, in my opinion, another very big factor on what you guys are offering is the long term
Yes.
capital appreciation on the
Of
project.
course. Of course. Of
Because
course.
think that you're gonna have a project that is well maintained, it's always looking sharp, and the property similar, as you said, you're gonna come back and it's gonna be like the first day. While at the same time you have a very good return on investment, which means that if you want to sell it in the future, it's gonna be easier. The capital appreciation is gonna be higher, and it's gonna make more sense to a potential future buyer compared to, say, another property, similar location in a more neglected, as you said,
Of course.
facility.
And comes also a very big factor, the quality of our work. Okay, all the properties we run, I will use booking.com as a reference because it's a credible review system. So all our properties are above 9.5. When an owner sees that he has a management company for his property that runs this place with above 9.5, first of all, he's very proud of his property.
It's safe.
He feels in safe hands. It is sustainable. There are people here existing doing that. But more importantly, in 3 and 4 years from now, wanting to resell or to examine what is my today's value of this property, immediately the value of this property has increased significantly because of this operation. Always having your property new, run in this way, and at the same time have like this added value for your property itself, but for you as well, because she has, as you said, like you put some money in the pocket already.
Yeah, basically, some listening to all of these factors, what does the future entail for KK Hospitality? Number one. And number two, how do you see Paphos hospitality offering, real estate offering evolving within the next few years?
First of all, let's say we, through the process, through our operations these years, uh, although none of the two of us, as the owners of the company, founders of the company, but also most of the team is not from Paphos, we learned to love Paphos. Okay, so from our operation, we got to see the beauty of Paphos. And we got to see the dynamic, we got to see the competitive advantages, we got to see what is the potential. The potential of Paphos itself, first of all, is incredible, either because of the airport and the expansion of the airport and the growth of the airport, not in main facilities, but in flight schedules, unfortunately, but let's keep the hope high. So we see the flight schedules increasing all the time. This is one given. The second given is that Paphos is really getting better and better as infrastructure, as a city, as getting more tidy. Let's put it this way. It starts to have a better face than 5 or 6 years ago, and uh, a lot of work have been done this direction. The third part is that slowly, because of the digitalization that came, especially from COVID onwards, we start understanding better the content. So, content is in the middle of our future. The photo, the video, the text is in the middle. So, coming now to KK, having all this and understanding our market, we see definitely a huge expansion and huge development in Paphos. But at the same time, Paphos now becomes a kind of a case study for the rest of Cyprus. So we see that Larnaca slowly start to copy paste a little bit what Paphos is doing. They are all, let's say, excited and very like amazed with the steps that Paphos did. KK Hospitality sees that the development, the real estate, in any case, is shifting more and more to investment purposes, not so much anymore to, let's say, the residency or I want a passport or how it was few years in the back, few years ago. Now, really, we see more serious, more mature investors being interested in the real estate market for hospitality purposes, or let's put it this way, for a better for return, for a return on their investment, not just to get a residency and they don't care. Now they care. They want a nice investment to create nice returns.
And I think like part of it is what we have been discussing here, that okay, you are right, and I agree that Paphos as a destination, as a place to live, to invest, has evolved a lot. But I think in general, Cyprus made huge steps forward to progress in all aspects and get a seat at the grown-ups table. And I think part of what we see now is actually the result of this hard work. Once we get our minds together and said that okay, we need to improve, and if we want to reach this step, we need to change the way that we do business and sometimes the way that we live. So as a closing remark, because I'm sure that not everything is vanilla ice cream, what would you say that are the main things that you would want to change in the future to make your life as a businessman easier?
To change or to evolve or to make it better.
You can always say nothing and we wrap it up.
No, it's amazing. No. Definitely, I would focus even more in the location infrastructure. One part is the public infrastructure, the municipal infrastructure, the regional infrastructure. So yes, I would like to see better beaches. I would like to see more organized places. I would like to see, let's say, bicycle places without being in danger. and not see them on the street, either because we have only pedestrians or we have streets. This is one part. Second part is definitely I would like to see different development. I would like to see different character. I know sometimes the materials or let's say the weather conditions don't allow for a lot of differentiation, but we would like to see different products. We would like to see different aesthetics. We would like to see different space in the real estate in development. Surely, because of our business, maybe we are influenced to say that yes, we would love to see buildings that have better technology, built-in, how we say built-in technology. Okay, so yes, the accesses and the controls and the networks, all this to be easier for the experience of the owner, of the guest, of the tenant, whatever. Other than that, we would just hope for, we would hope, because it is a challenge, maybe it's for another podcast, this one. It is a challenge, the human resources.
Yeah.
Okay, human resources. We need,
That's a big subject.
we need to educate people. We need to dive into it because soon we will be left out and we will import not knowledgeable, not certified people to be in tourism, to be in hospitality, to be in major things that they will influence and they will have negative impact. So we really need to pay attention to that as well. If I would like to close without the vanilla.
Yeah. Well, look, it was never our intention to only play vanilla
Yes, yes,
music.
yes,
So
yes,
I think
yes,
that's
yes.
important because that's how we
Yes.
improve.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you very much for your time, Sam.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much
for
for
coming
having
to the
me. It was
studio.
amazing. Really, I enjoyed.
I hope you
really
enjoyed it.
I really
I'm sure we're
enjoyed.
gonna
Really
see you in
enjoyed it.
season 2.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And thank you guys for watching. See you on the next episode.